TSU. Palmer's not going to be shy tonight. She fires another jumper. They're going to need some offense from Caitlin Palmer, and she did not connect on that one.
Yeah, and Isis gave her a good pick there for the clean shot.
Long shot here on the way by Giamani Welsh Coleman, and she cannot find the rhythm right there. 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
And Isis picked up that rebound, and it was really positioned, and that allowed her to do that.
And that's what they're going to have to do, get good position inside, because Weber State is a bigger ball club inside. They have a little more size. So Palmer again for the top of the key, open, and she cannot connect. Caitlin Palmer fires the three ball, and it's no good. And here come the Wildcats. Quinn for three, and it rolls off.
There you go.
Nice rebound right there by Taylor Robinson.
She's going to get her workout in going up and down these courts. They need her inside big time. There you go. Good shot.
What a move by China Ewing. She dribbles inside, switches hands, puts it up with the left hand, and it's good. A nice shot by China Ewing.
I think you can see with Weber State there is they are not going to let you celebrate a nice shot. They were back down the court very fast.
Laren Brooks on the miss, so here come the Lady Tigers on the attack. Palmer takes it down into the paint, tries to dish over to Robinson, but it's knocked out of bounds, so TSU will maintain possession of the basketball.
I think Robinson's getting that early game jitters where you kind of catching your breath in the first part of a game. She was going up and down that court pretty quick, so good. She's taking a break right now.
Taylor Robinson has really picked up her game over the last couple of weeks for the Lady Tigers. Of course, she made the SWAC tournament team, the All-SWAC tournament team, averaging 10 points a game and 6 rebounds. So she's really been contributing a lot to this Lady Tigers attack. So the Wildcats will take over the basketball. You know, we mentioned Janetta Hayes-Perry earlier. Of course, the head coach for the Wildcats, Beth Ann Ord. She's in her 7th season here, and she actually took the Wildcats to the finals of the WBI back in 2015-16. They lost in the finals, and you're going to know this team they lost to. They lost to Louisiana Lafayette, the Lady Raging Cajuns, and we have a foul inside on China Ewing. So they do have some postseason experience.
Yeah, and you know, both coaches have been with their teams for a while now. So I think when you get coaches that have been in a program for quite some time, you tend to get consistency, and the team is not surprised by things like this, and they react well in the tournament environment.
So right now, of course, Weber State up 5-4 over the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern. Camille Mills, China Ewing open for three, and the shot is good. So China Ewing has got 5 unanswered points.
What she did a great job is squaring up, and she was ready for the pass. When the pass got there, she was already ready for her shooting motion, and she took her time. Great shot.
So the Wildcats trying to penetrate inside. That is Welsh Coleman kissing it off the glass and in for 2. That's a nice move.
She was coming right in there, and she is not the tallest thing in the world, 5'3", but she was quick, maneuverable, and threw it up off the glass.
You know, she came in with her music blare. You know, she had on the headsets, and she came in dancing. I happened to be standing in the hallway when she came in. Then she came out for warm-ups. She still had the headsets on, and she was dancing. So this young lady never stops moving. Quinn with the basketball.
Well, when you're 5'3",
dishes back to Brooks, and it's no good.
When you're 5'3" in basketball, moving better be your calling card.
So the pace has picked up in this
nice.
one. Camille Mills throws it up and in. A great shot by Mills. That ties the ball game at 9 apiece. The TSU Lady Tigers have 9. Weber State 9. We have 4:13 to go in the first quarter. Brooks passed on 3, goes to Quinn, and she drills it from the corner. She is an outstanding three-point shooter.
Yeah,
Kaylee Quinn.
Yeah, China Ewing made a decision who she was going to defend. She got off of her person, and man, I'll tell you.
But you can't leave Quinn. She's the all-time career three-point shooter at Weber State. So that's some credentials right there. So you want to know when she's behind you, definitely. So the ball is tipped away by Drake and knocked out of bounds. So big substitutions coming on the floor now for both teams, as we're going to have a timeout on the court. You know, we were talking about the head coaches early on, and we got to talk about Janetta Hayes-Perry and what a job she's done at Texas Southern. Well, on the other side, Beth Ann Ord is the head coach over at Weber State. She's been there 7 seasons, and I mentioned she took her team all the way to the finals of the WBI back in 2015-2016. Lost a double overtime game, so she has experience in coaching in these type of ball games.
Yeah, and I was looking at her resume too. She hasn't just jumped into basketball. She's earned her way all the way through her career, working her way up. And again, spending what is her 7th year that we said, right, with Weber State. And again, I think the consistency of not only her program, but also her players understand she's there. She's going to be there. And in a game like this, you see a lot of seniors stepping up, right? So you got a coach that's been there 7 years. They've went all the way up through her. A lot of consistency happens there when you do that.
You know, I didn't get a chance to talk to her much before the ball game, but she played her college ball at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
That's right
around the same time I was in Baltimore, so I probably got to see her play at the time. You know, she was a pretty good player for the Retrievers. How many people know that nickname?
Yeah, that's not one that jumps off the tongue there. Yeah, you were doing sports there in the Baltimore area right at that time, wasn't it?
That one doesn't just roll off the tongue, not at all. But, you know, the TSU Tigers, because of injuries and other situations, they've gotten a lot of production coming off of that bench. You know, young ladies like Isis Lane is getting in there and doing a fine job contributing to the process here.
Yeah,
Breasia McElrath, also number 22, is really, you know, she's coming off of that high ankle sprain, so she's still trying to find herself a little bit.
Yeah, and that's tough to do, especially like we talked about a minute ago. When you don't even know you're going to play a game till real late, you weren't thinking about playing basketball. You probably weren't continuing your rehab on that ankle the same way you would if you knew you had a game coming up. So it's interesting to see how she reacts. But I'll tell you, getting back to Isis Lane, I've watched, you know how you have players that are quietly good, maybe their stats don't show up. I've watched her. She does a great job picking. She seems to know exactly where the ball is going. She's helping create space for the shooters a lot, and she moves without the ball. I love watching players that move without the ball, and they're anticipating where their guards want to go so they can create picks. And I've seen her do that quite a bit. So I'm really liking her game this early in the game so far, guys.
She's very active. Now, over the last 3 home games, she's averaged over 5 points and about 3 rebounds per game. She's shooting 71% from the floor, and the one thing that tells me is she's taking a lot of good shots. If you're shooting 71% from the floor, you're actually shooting inside the block a lot.
Yeah, and both teams actually, I think it's what, 40%, right around 40%, 36 and 41% for both teams. So that means they don't take really silly shots. And they move the ball around, and it's continued here early in this game.
And Caitlin Palmer gets it over to China Ewing. She scoops it, goes in and out. That's Breasia inside, and hers rolls right off the front iron. So she had a good look inside. Breasia McElrath, but it would not go down. So here come the Wildcats on the attack. Brooks to Quinn for 3 more, but it's short. And a nice job inside on the offensive glass, and another long shot is no good. And this time, it's going to be picked up by the Lady Tigers. China Ewing is down there, and she came away with the basketball. So the Tigers will set it up. So we're going to see a lot more. China Ewing is going to have an opportunity to show what she can do offensively tonight with Joyce Kennerson not with the ball club right now. China Ewing has some offensive skills. You know, to this point, you play your role on the team, but now that role has changed.
Yeah, you know one thing right there, though, Camille Mills, she had a better shot when she first got the ball. She was wide open. I think when you lose that top scorer, you better pull that trigger. You get a good shot, you got to take it.
Quinn open in the corner, passed up on the shot. Back it goes to Brooks. Brooks lays it off, it goes to Quinn. Good ball movement by the Wildcats, and the 3 ball by Drake is no good.
Great positioning there to get the rebound.
So TSU on the attack again. Mills is going to set up the offense. Catherine Okolagwe now on the floor. She's trying to post up inside. Palmer from the baseline, and her jump shot is a little strong. But look at China Ewing inside. She got the rebound and put it back up and in. A nice follow-up by China Ewing.
I like the way Okolagwe's playing down low in the post. She is battling to get some room. And, you know, I talked about earlier about creating separation. She's doing that. She's making it work inside.
So the Tigers are doing a good job of, when they have to, falling back inside and packing that lane on the defense. And a nice roll right there by Brooks. She got the shooter's roll, and that is good for 3. Weber State back out in front, 13-11 over the Lady Tigers of TSU with 1:36 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, you get those kind of rolls when you're shooting, it's going to be your night, and let's hope it's not.
So Caitlin Palmer has an open jump shot, and Well, she made that opening shot to start the game, and she's been a little cold since.
She's been just short. It looks like she's not giving enough with her legs.
Brooks wide open for three, and she can't get it. Okalagui is right there to pull down the rebound. So Mills has it on the offensive end now with 1:07 to go here in the first quarter. Lady Tigers are going to move it around the horn.
And they're slowing it down just a little bit.
10 seconds to go now on the shot clock, so they're going to have to move it. Palmer with the basketball. She's trying to create some space. She does. Backs away and nails the jump shot. Caitlin Palmer with a big shot.
She made him respect that. Looks like she was going to take off inside. Made him respect that space and took a great shot there.
Wide open on the baseline was number 24, Dominique Williams, but it wouldn't go. So 30 seconds to go now. TSU in a 13-13 game. Caitlin Palmer with the basketball. Lady Tigers didn't have to shoot it, but Palmer fires for three, and she connects with 19 seconds to go.
She took that just so smooth, didn't think about it, took the shot, relaxed, and it went right in. Nice job.
So 10 seconds to go to the end of the quarter. Laren Brooks, the leading scorer on the team, she gives it up inside to Drake. Goes over to Quinn on the wing. Back around to Brooks, and she fires, and it is off the mark. And that will be the end of the first quarter with the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern. They find themselves out in front 16-13 over Weber State. So TSU with the lead after one. We're going to pause for a timeout now with the Lady Tigers on their home court rolling on early to a 3-point lead. And we are back courtside. Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas. We're watching the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern take on Weber State in the Women's Basketball Invitational. You know, and that's such a good thing now, Jorge, because it used to be if you didn't get into the big dance, you're out of luck.
Yeah, there was nowhere to go.
But now you have the NIT and now you have the WBI, so there's a lot of basketball, and there's so many good teams out there. You're not hurting for teams. You got good teams to put into all these tournaments.
Well, what I always like about this is extra games. It's extra time with coaches with their team. It's competitive situations that you can build on your program for the future. For teams like TSU, it's visibility. It's being able to showcase what you can do. These games are all win-wins for programs and the players. And again, I think the growth of the players and your program of how they look and how they feel about themselves going in and getting tournament play. It's a big deal. And so far, I really love the demeanor of the Lady Tigers, the way they've come out. We talked about the fact that it would be important of how they came out and started the game, and they've started well.
They started well. The officials for today's game, Brian Garland, Lolly Sines, and LaShonda Kidd, our three officials, as Taylor Robinson puts it up and inside for the Lady Tigers from TSU. They now lead at 18-13 we are just started here in the second quarter.
Yeah, maybe the most impressive part of that was how Robinson went in and got the ball. It was well defended, but she would not be denied on that one.
Nice pass inside. Wildcats kick it back out to Quinn, and she nails the three. You know, I saw Quinn out here, Kaylee Quinn, during the warm-ups, and she barely missed a three-pointer. She's been a little cold in this game, but she got that one to go, so it's 18-16, Texas Southern out in front.
Well, I think you mentioned it earlier. She's someone you don't let go.
Palmer for three more. Caitlin Palmer.
And that was smooth. When she's got the shot working, it's very relaxed.
And a steal by Palmer on the defensive end. So Caitlin Palmer makes the three-pointer, and then she comes back, plays defense, fires another three, and it rolls off the iron. So the Lady Tigers are picking up the pace in this one. So here come the Wildcats. Brooks over to Quinn in the corner. Good defense by Mills, forced her to move. And then Brooks for three for Weber State. Lauren Brooks with a nice shot there. We mentioned at the top she's averaging 20 points a game. That three-pointer pulled the Wildcats to within 21-19. So there are a couple of players out there right now for the Wildcats that you really have to keep an eye on where they are on the floor, because they can knock down that three-pointer.
I was just going to say the same thing. If they're going to make it, you can't be uncontested, and you can't allow them to go. And in that zone they're playing, they're really getting off their defender, their offensive player too quickly. You got to make them work and earn. Somebody's got to show up big enough for you to leave the great players.
Oh, you just have to have that court awareness and know who's on your side of the court.
Right, exactly. And you got to know Brooks and Quinn are the last people I leave, and then someone else has to prove themselves. And again, other than that, I mean, I think their defensive, intensity is really good. Just some of the decisions of who to leave is interesting. I will say Robinson, watching her work down low, when she comes down there, she's real forceful. And the fact that she went up and got the ball, again, I thought that was impressive, because she just kept jumping until she got it, and then she put it up.
Well, you just touched on something very important about the defensive end for the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern. They've been outstanding defensively, giving up 57 points a game, 57.6. And coming into this one, Weber State is averaging right at 77 a game. They're almost scoring 80 points a game, and you look right now, we're in the second quarter, they got 19 points on the board. So
yeah, and while that last series, the last two series, right, they were able to get some nice easy shots, because they do move the ball well. Weber State moves the ball incredibly well. Their passing is great. They give up a good shot for a better shot, and I think that's great basketball when you play that way. And only twice the TSU Lady Tigers have been out of position in those last two. Well, probably about 3 or 4 times, but the last two back-to-back, I think it's a great timeout by Hayes Perry, the coach, to say, look, let's get it back together, let's reel them in. We're playing well, but we can't have that if we're going to stay in.
Taking a look at the leading scorers in this one, Caitlin Palmer leads all scorers with 10 points for the Lady Tigers. China Ewing is next with 7. On the other side, for the Wildcats, Lauren Brooks with 9, and Kaylee Quinn has 6. When you look into the rebounding category, Emily Drake with 4 and China Ewing with 4. So China Ewing, 7 points, 4 rebounds. She's giving the Lady Tigers a big lift in this ball game with no Joyce Kitterson tonight.
Yeah, no, and we said, as this game started, was who was going to step up, and it's going to have to be a collective effort. It can't just be Caitlin Palmer. It can't just be, one other person. It's got to be a group of ladies that step up and make up that difference. And again, so far it looks like there are some ladies doing that. And China Ewing, I just like her game. I think she's active all over the court right now.
I venture to say Coach Hayes Perry is very happy right now with what she's seeing. She told me before the game she was very interested to see how her team would react to this team from Weber State, who likes to get up and down the court, who's filled with great shooters. How would they meet the challenge? And so far, they have definitely met the challenge.
Yeah, when you've got so many people that shoot well, you have to cover everyone, and we just talked about that. You can't leave any one particular person alone. There
China Ewing passed up the shot, goes into Isis lane, back to China, and this time she launches up an air ball. So you could tell she was a little undecided about that shot.
She did not want to take that shot, but she was so open, she went ahead and took it. And I think they just have to play free. If you can't play tight.
Great pass inside to number 1. That's Jayamani Joycelyn Adams from Welch Coleman. A good pass inside and a nice score right there from the Wildcats, tying the ball game, 21-21 now, 7:50 to go here in the second quarter. So China Ewing down low to Catherine Okolagwe, and she turns it back out. Palmer looking to create, steps back and throws one in and out. So the three-pointer.
She's right now the only one that's pulling that trigger very smoothly. Oh, nice dribble right there.
Palmer with a steal, takes it all the way in, +1 on the play. Caitlin Palmer created that, and then she finished it off on the offensive end. A nice steal, as you mentioned, Jorge, a great behind-the-back dribble, and then she lays it in off the glass for 2, and we'll have a chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I was jumping into your turf there on the play. I was just excited because it was right in front of us, and I saw that behind the back. And again, she's very smooth player.
She's a smooth operator, no doubt about that. Palmer connects on the three-pointer, so on the free throw, it is good. Nice shot by Caitlin Palmer. Palmer shooting 77% from the free throw line. Welch Coleman inside, and it's stolen away by China Ewing. She was trying to dish it to Drake. This time China's determined. She takes it down the lane, and it's taken away by Welch Coleman. And she throws it right back to the Lady Tigers, and China Ewing is going to finish it off.
That's great teamwork right there. That was a lot of great teamwork, hustle, and not giving up on a play. Great job.
26-21 now. TSU out in front, 6:46 to go. Pass is down low to Drake.
You know, what they've done a good job is Lauren Brooks. They have not let her get real comfortable, and I'm very happy with that because I thought if she gets there, they got to left her wide open right there.
And it goes in and out, so I thought you had kind of jinxed them there for a second. But instead, it spins in and out. Lauren Brooks.
You were getting ready to kick me off the side here, right?
Shot is no good. Goes back to the Lady Tigers, and we'll try to keep you updated with the score. We know we do not have a picture of the scoreboard on your screen, so I'll try to keep you updated on the score as Palmer pulls up and connects. Caitlin Palmer. Boy, what a start she's off to in this ball game.
Not bad, 28-21. Gotta like that.
Caitlin Palmer now 15 points for the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern.
Well, you know, you said it out of the gate. You thought that the extra points would come from her. And again, she's been the one lady that really does not hesitate at all with the ball in her hands when she takes a shot.
And that happens sometimes. You know, you without your leading scorer, and like we talked about at the top, everybody has to play a role. When you see your role changing, it's not that you're not capable. It's that you're playing a role on the team for your team to have more success. And what she's showing now is she's capable of being a big-time scorer. I mean, she has to.
She's like, I could be the alpha. Let's roll, right? I'm hungry. Let's eat. Because right there, she just had a great defensive play, knocking the ball out of bounds. So I think what's impressive, she's playing on both sides of the court. She is not giving up, playing great defense, and of course her offense is spectacular.
So the Wildcats put it in play underneath their own basket. Brooks with the basketball. Over to Quinn. And it goes over the top, and it'll be out of bounds to TSU. As I said, I got to watch Quinn during the pregame shoot-around, and she might have missed 2 shots. So it's a little different once you start the ball game and you got people running at you, and it's a whole different ball game. But she is an excellent shooter, and she just hasn't quite found the range yet.
Well, and I think that's key, right? You don't want to let her get that. Yeah. I mean, shooting's about rhythm, right, and confidence. And she does look a little aggravated. And again, they've done a pretty decent job of keeping her, but I just don't want to see her get smooth. She's had a couple of open ones and missed several, so let's just keep it that way. Let's stay on her.
Yeah, she can run off a few in a hurry, so that China Ewing had a shot, passed it up, dribbles underneath, throws it back to Mills. Good job getting it to Palmer, who creates that space again, and she missed the shot, but Briasia is there for the follow-up. And she's going to be called for traveling with the basketball. But a great job of hitting the offensive boards by Briasia McElrath. But she could not convert. She's got to be careful. One step at a time.
Spring break travel, is that what we'll call that?
Well, Briasia was she was one of the young ladies we talked about. She was in Atlanta. She left on Sunday. She didn't know about the bid, TSU getting the bid to the WBI. She had to come back to town, and she was very happy to do it. Wildcats with an offensive board. Brooks on the drive, throws it up and in. Lauren Brooks, good body control, got inside and flipped it up and in. 28-23, Texas Southern leading Weber State with 4:53 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, sometimes it can be those layups that ignite a shooter like that. They get an easy bucket, they start to feel good about themselves.
Errant pass inside looking for Taylor Robinson. It's no good. Welsh Coleman gives it off to Drake. Back to Welsh Coleman. Weber State doing a good job of moving the ball around the perimeter. Welsh Coleman tried to go inside in a battle for the basketball. The Wildcats come away with it.
Great defense.
Laren Brooks throws it too high. Tried to get it over to Welsh Coleman, but she couldn't get it. Little high. When you look at
that is fantastic defense. So every lady on that court was diving for balls, going after everything. They were not stopping.
Giamani Welsh Coleman only 5'3", so she'd have to be like 5'6" to catch that one. She stretched out as long as she could stretch out.
I'll tell you, Camille Mills is catching some wind right here. She's tired right now.
But she does a lot of the dirty work for the Lady Tigers. I mean, she's inside. She's the leading rebounder on the team, averaging more than 6 boards a ball game, and she does all that from her guard position.
Yeah, I talked about her earlier about moving without the ball. She does just that. There you go, Robinson.
Taylor Robinson had the basketball, couldn't hang on. We now have 3:50 to go here in the first half. Welsh Coleman over to Quinn. They just can't. The TSU doing a really good job of getting a hand in the face, and at that time, nobody blocked out. And number 5, Brianna Gray, getting inside, hitting the offensive board, putting it back in for 2.
I was just going to commend them for how well they were playing the zone and moving and sliding with that zone, and then they didn't block out off the shot.
And it's going to be wiped off right there. 3 seconds. Lady Tigers are going to be guilty of in that lane too long. You know, I had a chance to talk to Brianna Gray before the ball game, and what a nice young lady. I mean, just really a pleasure to talk to and visit with a little bit about the team, and they're just happy to get this opportunity. They're just happy to get another game. We were talking about it earlier, you know, especially if you're a senior on a team like this, you don't want to stop playing basketball. And there's Laren Brooks. Speaking of a senior who doesn't want to stop playing basketball, she's averaging 20 right now. She has 11 for the Wildcats.
We're tied at 28. That's a big bucket right there, and I hope that doesn't ignite her either.
So Welsh Coleman with a long rebound there. Quinn with a bomb, and it's no good. Palmer pulls down the rebound. China Ewing takes it down and decides to pull it back out to Palmer, and the Lady Tigers are going to run some clock now. So Palmer's going to reset as Nikki Smith comes over to the scorer's table. She's going to check back in for TSU.
I think it was actually a good move to slow it down a little bit.
Palmer is going to be called for an offensive foul. They got her with that forearm going out there. You're exposed when you're on the top of the key. You can't really get away with that move, and it was right in front of the official, and they made the call.
Yeah, when you extend that arm like that right out in the open, that's tough. But she has worked her tail off and done a great job here to have a tie ball game with 2:18.
So Palmer and Briasia is going to get a rest right now. Poinge is in the game. McKenna checks in. So is Nikki Smith back on the floor. 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And it's Brooks again. And just like that, Laren Brooks feeling right at home now from three-point range. 31-28, Weber State out in front.
That's what can happen when you get that easy layup. She's got 17 points now. She's feeling better. You can tell she's in a groove.
There's some great shooters on that team, and Coach Hayes Perry was well aware of that coming into this ball game, and I'm sure she felt like they were doing really well when they were holding them to a better percentage from the outside. That's Mills inside, couldn't get it to go. Camille had a really good look at it, a little too hard off the backboard. Welsh Coleman takes it inside, pushes back out to Drake, over to Brooks, wide open again for 3 more. And a good job by the Wildcats getting the ball. They were going to go to Brooks the whole way. They did a good job of getting that ball around the horn back into Brooks' hands.
Yeah, their ball movement is fantastic.
McKenna with a nice shot right there.
There you go. Now it's 34-31. TSU just a little bit back there, so that's good.
Welsh Coleman pulls up and connects. Giamani Welsh Coleman. I mean, she is so quick and gives a lot of the assists But that time she kept it and made a shot. Did a great job. So China Ewing takes it inside, kicks it back out. Just like that, the score can change in a hurry. And that's one of the things Hayes Perry told me. He said, this team from Weber State is explosive. And look at the shot inside by Welsh Coleman. It was a great move, but she could not finish.
I mean, for someone 5'3", she likes going right at the rim and attacking. And she can either get a shot off or she does a great job kicking it back out.
So the TSU Tigers now 15 seconds to go here in the first half. Weber State out in front 36-31. And that one is off the mark. And it's going to be Weber State with a chance with 5 seconds to go. Drake with an open look, and it goes in and out. So she can't get it to go. It's tracked down by Nikki Smith. And that is the horn to end the first half. And what a first half it was. The Lady Tigers from TSU actually led for most of the first half. Weber State with a burst right before halftime, and they lead it as we go to the locker rooms, 36-31. But what a first half we have. Jorge, give me some of your impressions of the first half.
Well, I thought it was a well-played game. I mean, on both sides of the ball, we knew both teams could shoot well. Ball movements have been great. Both teams are good at rebounding as well. So the activity, what I find interesting about this game is that the activity on defense and on offense, usually you get a team that cares a lot more about offense. They don't worry about defense, and they quit moving their feet. I think both teams defensively, they moved their feet and they slid a lot. Not a lot of really wide open shots. I thought Caitlin Palmer did a phenomenal job. In the last part of that game when she came out with that offensive foul, you could tell she was tired. But it wasn't the offense they missed there, it's her defense. Her defense has been phenomenal throughout the whole part of this game, as well as the offense she's been able to create. So to me, that was big at the end. And as I mentioned a little bit ago, Laren Brooks, you give a player like her an easy layup, that's just like a confidence builder. And I said it when she did it, and she hit 3 more shots right after that.
Okay, let's go down to Sierra Henry on the court with assistant coach Carlos
All right, Coach,
Wilson.
talk to me a little bit about what you guys have to do offensively and defensively to come out with the win tonight.
Offensively, we got to continue to drive the ball downhill, try to get high percentage shots in the paint. You know, we're not a great outside shooting team right now, so we got to consistently get the ball in there and get attempts up, but we can rebound it if anything and get a second chance opportunity. Defensively, they have us in scrambling because we're getting beat initially with penetration, so we're always scrambling out. We got to contain their penetrations early on, and that way they can't throw it out to open shooters.
Absolutely. Coach, who specifically from the Lady Tigers are you looking forward to stepping up this next half?
Next half has got to be Taylor. We think that we have a size advantage. We have an advantage in the paint, so we got to find ways to get her the ball and let her presence be felt.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Back to you, Butch.
Okay, thank you very much, Sierra and Coach Wilson. We're going to pause for another timeout. We're at the half in the ball game between Texas Southern and Weber State. Weber State, the Wildcats, lead Texas Southern by 5, 36-31. at the half of the Women's Basketball Invitational here on the campus of Texas Southern University in the Health and PE Arena, where the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern trail Weber State 36-31 with about 10 minutes to go in the half. Let's talk a little bit about the first half, because when you look at the first half, the Lady Tigers, they did everything right until the final 3 minutes of the first half, and then lo and behold, Laren Brooks kind of exploded. I mean, she was very quiet for most of the first half. Then all of a sudden, she knocked down 3 or 4 threes, and it turned the game around like that, just really quickly.
Yeah, no question about it. You could tell, you know, it's one thing when you see your hot player get hot, you start to think, okay, here we go. We got it, right? And you could see the demeanor of Weber State kind of start to change and go, okay, Brooks is getting hot. We're on. We got our game going on. I think one thing we mentioned during the break is also Kaylee Quinn, right? She's had some open looks, hasn't gotten in a rhythm. You saw her before the game. She's got a great shot. You can't allow her to go off now. You surely can't, because it's already Brooks is starting to feel it, right? You can't let both of those ladies go off. So they need to keep the glove on Kaylee Quinn, make sure she doesn't start to feel it, get comfortable. And then Brooks, somehow you got to knock her off the game, because if she stays that way, she's already at her average of 20 points a game at the half.
And on the other side, a fantastic first half from the offense and a defensive end for Caitlin Palmer. I mean, she's just been outstanding coming out there today. I mean, she has 15 points at the half, but a great half, and then she also had 3 or 4 steals. I mean, she was doing a great job on the defensive end. They have her down for 2 steals, but she had at least 3.
Yeah, and then she's knocked several out of bounds.
Yes.
She knocked several out of bounds. She has 2 rebounds, and she's just active all around. And she was the one making Brooks uncomfortable in that first part of the game. She was following her. She's, again, she just was a disruptor, is what I call it on the defensive side. She's doing a little bit of everything. And again, I thought she, at the beginning of the game, we really talked about the fact, how would they come out? What would their demeanor be? I think the fact that she pulled the trigger when she needed to, she saw a shot, she took it. She kind of set the tone saying, look, we're going to find a way to get some points. And I think that set the Lady Tigers a little bit more relaxed. I think the one thing that I see is China Ewing. She's active, but she's real hesitant with the ball when it comes to shooting. She's had some open opportunities, and I'm sure coaches are in there saying, look, China, if you miss it, you miss it. Yeah. But you've got to take an open shot. You can't give up an easy shot for a harder shot.
Oh, she is definitely giving the Lady Tigers a shot in the arm coming in off the bench. China Ewing with 9 points and 4 rebounds, but she's done a good job of hitting the offensive glass, keeping that ball alive, and doing a good job also on the defensive end. So, I mean, it's been a good first half effort for the Lady Tigers. That they come out, they trail by 5 points. So right in the thick of this ball game, we're going to be right back with them in a minute. We're here at the half. The Lady Tigers from Texas Southern trail Weber State 36-31. We'll take a break and be right back. And we are about a minute away from the second half getting underway. Third quarter action here at the Health and PE Arena on the campus of Texas Southern University. Butch Alcindor with Jorge Vargas here. It's a women's basketball invitational first round game between the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern and the Wildcats from Weber State. Weber State up 36-31. You know, you might want to talk a little bit about coming into this ball game. TSU came in at 19-12 from the SWAC conference. Of course, Weber State comes in from the Big Sky. They were 20-10 this year, and I mentioned they kind of came into this tournament with kind of a chip on their shoulder after giving up that 25-point lead in the quarterfinals of the Big Sky tournament and losing.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, and that's why for them I thought it was important how they were going to start, right? I mean, if they feel like they deserve better, they may not be focused on playing this game, right? And so I think both teams have showed they're ready to play today. It's been a really clean, well-played game. And so I think now second half, I think TSU's got to be a little upset with themselves for letting the game get away at the end of the half. But, hey, they got to take it over right now.
To come back out, Weber State will have the basketball first to start the second half. Emily Drake will put it in play for the Wildcats. A pass over to Adams, Joycelyn Adams. And she gives to Brooks right away. And Brooks trying to create some room inside. Back around the horn. They do move the basketball around quickly. TSU on the defensive end, Briasia had it and lost it, and it goes back inside to Drake, who puts it up and in. 38-31, Weber State now.
Yeah, they kind of ISO'd up on defense that time. They didn't run their zone. They kind of wanted to see how they were going to react to that. So they played kind of a man defense right there. And we're playing well, but gave up the bucket.
TSU with an opportunity to come up with the steal right there. McElrath had it in her hands, couldn't quite pull it away on the steal, and instead Drake got the shot inside. So now TSU on the offensive attack. Palmer trying to create. Catherine Okologwe battling inside, and she can't come away with it. So the Wildcats with possession of the basketball, and it's Quinn with a long pass to Drake. Back out to Welsh Coleman.
Great defense.
And they get it down to Brooks, who dishes inside. What a sweet pass to Adams, but it's rejected by Okologwe. Here comes China Ewing and the Lady Tigers. Whoa, and that's going to be an offensive foul called against China Ewing, and boy, that's a tough call right there.
Yeah, it is, but I'll tell you what, Camille Mills, I got to talk about her defense on that last series. She did two great plays that allowed that them to get the rebound and get back going the other way.
Great job, Brian Garland on the call there. Could have went either way. I don't know about that one. Then Brooks with a great drive. Adams comes away with the offensive glass. Quinn is wide open for three, and she can't get it to go. So here comes Caitlin Palmer and the TSU Lady Tigers on the offensive end. You mentioned Palmer had a really big first half. Did a great job for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, she's going to have to keep that energy up. There's a lot of basketball left, and they're going to lean on her quite a bit.
She had a 15-point first half. Right there, she pulls up on the baseline and connects. Just like that, Caitlin Palmer, 17 points to lead the Lady Tigers. And this is Welsh Coleman. Man, she is quick.
She is.
And Caitlin Palmer with the glass, with the rebound, tried to go deep to Mills. And had Camille continued to run, it would have been a perfect strike.
Yeah, they were going for the touchdown there, right?
Well, they had 6, but as the receivers often do, sometimes they pull up in the middle of the route.
Yeah.
And, you know, while we have a chance, let's congratulate the TSU men's squad for their first NCAA win, a big win knocking off North Carolina Central. They had 7 attempts in the NCAA without a victory and came up with the win. A big win on Wednesday night.
That was exciting. That was exciting to watch. They played incredibly well, and of course now they have a gauntlet up in front of them now.
They're going to play the #1 seed in the West, Xavier, and another big rebound by Catherine Okologwe.
Oh, she's throwing elbows, man. She's clearing some room right there.
So the Lady Tigers now trailed 38-33, 7:22 to go in the third. They have the basketball on the offensive end. Wildcats in the purple road uniforms. TSU in the home gray. Palmer again creates some space. There was some contact on the play, and she's going to go to the free throw line to shoot.
That's a little veteran move right there. She kind of jumped in to the defender right there, letting them know that, hey, I'm going to get a foul whether I make it or not. I'm going to the line.
Well, she does such a great job of creating that space, and the first free throw is good. the defender will be up on her, and she does a great job of leaning in and stepping back to create that room to get that shot away.
Right, and that time against Welch Coleman, instead of backing away, she just went through him, and Welch Coleman was expecting her to back up, and that's how she got the foul.
Palmer makes both free throws. She's shooting 77% from the free throw line, and Welch Coleman gets it taken away by Palmer. And let's see who they give the basketball to, because that looked like it went off of Welch Coleman, so it should go to the Lady Tigers, and it will.
I told you, Palmer's playing her tail off. She is just everywhere.
On both ends. Caitlin Palmer really stepping up. And that's the thing about it, we mentioned it at the top, when you're a senior and this could be the final opportunity, you're really motivated to come out here and play hard.
Yeah, the interesting part about this game is they probably already shed their tears of playing their last game, right? And now this is bonus.
This is a reprieve.
Yeah.
China Ewing had a thought of going baseline, but she lost the handle on the ball, and they missed Catherine Okolagwe wide open inside. Catherine, though, goes in, gets the rebound, puts it up and in. Count that bucket +1. Catherine said, I guess you missed me the first time around. I'm going to go get it myself.
That's right.
And what a great job she did inside.
Oh, you know what? She does a great job. She clears things out with her lower body. She backs into things and knocks them off step and creates space for herself. Does a great job there. Got the rebound. And then she would not be denied going back up.
During their last 10 games, she's been averaging right at 5 points a game and right under 5 rebounds a game. That's over the last 10. And I mentioned she's been one of the players who've had to come in off the bench because of injuries, and she's really stepped up and gotten a lot of confidence. We have a foul on the floor. That one looks like it may be against Camille Mills. Palmer was there also. We'll see who they call it on.
Yeah, we're tied at 38 now after that TSU surge, which is great, but that's a lousy foul to me. The Weber State was kind of confused with what they were doing.
Drake for 3, and it's a long rebound, and the Wildcats come away with it. That foul did go on Camille Mills, but number 5, Brianna Gray, is going to be guilty of walking with the basketball. So that's going to turn it back over to the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern. So that foul did go to Camille Mills. That was her second foul in the ballgame. So she's someone that 2 fouls you're cool, but you can ill afford to lose Camille in a game like this.
Oh, no question. No question.
So the Lady Tigers on the offensive end. China Ewing looking inside, finds Briasia on the baseline. They're going to reverse it.
Very good, China.
China, what a job! China Ewing went down the lane and it opened up like the seas parting, and she laid it in for 2 more.
With her left hand, too.
Yes, nice shot. Good job of taking what they give you right there. She was going to stop, but the hole opened up, and she kept going, and that's China Ewing with the steal for the Lady Tigers. Ahead to Palmer. Palmer's going to take it all the way in, and she cannot get it to go off the glass.
And Palmer created that turnover right there because she smacked it out. There you go. Great job.
So the officials say that's going to be out of bounds off of Weber State. So it's going to go back over to the Lady Tigers as Nikki Smith checks in for Briasia McElrath. She's going to take a break. But the Lady Tigers from TSU will maintain possession of the ball with 5:34 to go in the third. TSU up 40-38 over Weber State. So the Lady Tigers with a 2-point lead and the basketball.
Look at Palmer moving without that ball, creating room at the other side of the court.
Mills trying to create, and it's going to be short. But Catherine Okolagwe is there for the turnaround, and she was a little too strong. Didn't know where she was on the floor, was trying to find the glass, couldn't do it. And what a shot by Gray. Gray, who knew she was going to get fouled, took it inside and got it up, and now she's going to shoot 2 free throws. So Brianna Gray creating inside, the 5'10" senior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah, she's getting talked to from her coach, talking about positioning. Make sure she gets down there a little early and don't give up that easy foul.
Gray's a 66% shooter from the free throw line, made the first one. Second one is underway, and she hit that one also. So here's another senior, not knowing when it's going to come to an end, and really don't want it to come to an end right here.
Yeah, tied it up too. Those were big buckets, 40-40.
We're tied at 40, 4:58 to go here in the third quarter. Palmer wide open from the top of the key, and it's raining threes down on the Wildcats. Caitlin Palmer.
22 points for her, is that right?
That is correct. I The computer's updating a little late, but I'm pretty sure that's 22. And a good drive on the way. Could have been walking, but it wasn't called. Instead, Gray kisses it off the glass for 2. A nice shot by Brianna Gray. 43-42, Texas Southern out in front.
China, nice move inside there. Oh, you got to like her aggressiveness.
And that's Catherine Okolagwe on the follow-up. Her shot is no good, but she will shoot free throws. She will get to go to the line. And that was 22 points for Caitlin Palmer. But, you know, one thing I've enjoyed, we have a timeout now on the floor, 4:15 to go in the third. TSU up by 1, 43-42. But you know what's been really interesting to watch tonight is how the dynamics of this team has changed with Joyce Kenderson not being here. And obviously, you're a lot better with Joyce's 24.3 points a game. But what we're seeing tonight is not only did you see Caitlin Palmer step up, you've seen somebody like China Ewing come off the bench. And it's not so much what it's the confidence to me that she's playing with. She's playing with so much confidence. Like it's almost like she knows, well, coach is not going to yank me right out of this thing. Even if I make a mistake, I'm going to be on the floor and I'm good with it. She's playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I said earlier she wasn't pulling the trigger quick enough. But what she is doing is attacking the rim in the second half. That's twice she's gone right down the paint. And I think, like earlier, we talked about Brooks. You go down the paint, you get yourself a layup. That eases your mind. It kind of eases you up. You start to feel good. Okay, the ball can go through the hoop. I can get it to do that. And then you start shooting a little bit freer.
But it's amazing what happens when you start to get in your comfort level with this. And you're playing out there and you're playing at a high level of competition at this point, and it's kind of hard, and it's easy to doubt yourself and have a little doubt, and we haven't seen that tonight.
You know what I think it says though is Janetta Hayes-Perry, they have a lot of confidence in their coach to know, hey coach, what do we do? How do we make the adjustments? And they buy into the adjustments that the coach comes up with, right? Because it's easy. The teams can easily go, oh, we lost it. That's it. We can't do anything. No, but their coach says, here's how we're going to do it now. All right, here's what I expect from you. Here's how the roles are going to change, and here's how we're going to get it done. And that means that your team bought in. And I use the word team real hard because you playing as a team today. When you make adjustments like that, and you have teammates that now buy into their new roles, that's great stuff right there.
Well, you know, you almost have to wonder the loss to Grambling in the SWAC semifinals. You had to wonder, boy, you know what? TSU, they beat Grambling throughout the regular season. They would have had a good shot. Joyce Kenderson did not play in that game either, so it kind of makes you wonder, what if there? You know, you can't do that
sure.
Because you have to go on, and you move on. But you kind of think, boy, they could have been back in the NCAA back-to-back appearances.
That would have been sweet. Yeah, no, I mean the what ifs, but again,
yeah.
It shows how strong the team is that they're not stuck in the what if. They're moving on. I will say this, right? Lauren Brooks, we were wondering about how she would come out in the second half. She's got no points so far in the second half. So that's good. That means that Tiger defense is still roaring on her and can hopefully not let her get comfortable again.
They're doing a really good job of recognizing when she's on their end of the court, and she's giving it up. And that's the thing I like about, you know, Lauren Brooks. One of the reasons why she's such an outstanding player is she doesn't force it.
No.
She doesn't force it at all. She waits for the basketball to come to her, and she takes the shot when she has the shot.
Yeah, no, you're right. She's let the ball game come to her, and she still works. She's not like just I got to shoot her, I'm done. So good player, really good player.
And she showed some of that explosiveness right at the end of the first half when she connected on two straight three-pointers in a hurry. So we have Catherine Okolagwe at the line. First one on the way is a little strong. It's no good. So she will have one more. TSU up by 1 with 4:15 to go here in the third quarter. So Catherine, she's about a 51% free throw average from the free throw line. Misses both of them, so that's going to be a big miss right there for the Lady Tigers. So here come the Wildcats. Brooks to Welsh Coleman. Goes over to Gray, and it's taken away by Palmer. How many steals has Caitlin Palmer come up with in this ball game? And inside, she tried to get the reverse layup, and is just a little short. Couldn't get it in there strong enough. And this is Welsh Coleman inside on the other end.
Great defense by China there.
And a shot is up and in. A big shot right there by number 10.
Cheyenne Johnson. She did a little stop and pop jump on that shot right there.
Cheyenne Johnson from Harker Heights, Texas.
get a map and look that one up.
Yeah, I was about to
I'm
ask
not
you.
gonna-
You know where that is. China Ewing inside loses the ball, but there's going to be a foul inside called on Catherine Okalagwe. So it's away from the ball. She's called for the foul. Brooks is actually from Richmond, Kentucky, and she had that time at Texas Tech.
That's right.
So Weber State up by 1, 44-43. And they have the basketball, and we're going to have traveling on the play.
Cheyenne Johnson again there.
Cheyenne Johnson a little too quick. The 5'8" freshman getting some action in this ball game was in a little hurry there to get to the hoop. Walked with the basketball. So we have 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Weber State by 1, 44-43. TSU on the offensive end. China Ewing over to Mills. Let's go over to Palmer. When you look at this lineup on the court right now for TSU, as Palmer fires and she's a little short, they had 5 seconds left on the shot clock, so she had to let it fly. But the offense with this lineup on the court right now, if you're talking about jump shooting, it's going to have to be Palmer or Ewing. And that's a shot inside right there by number 24, Dominique Williams.
That's probably the second easy shot of the game. So you don't want to let too many of those go by, but that was only the second time they've given up an easy layup.
And a good look inside, and Williams connects. 46-43, Weber State out in front. So now you can see the pace changing a little bit for the Lady Tigers. They got to find a way to get back into that nice rhythm they had. This time, Caitlin Palmer trying to create, fires a three. She took that shot 1 against 3, and Caitlin Palmer connects on the three-pointer. So we're tied at 46 with 1:50 to go here in the third quarter. And it's almost taken away by Palmer.
What a gutsy shot, and just stone cold right there on that shot.
Just a great effort on the other end, too. It's not like she's just looking to shoot the balls.
No.
She's playing defense. She's playing on both ends of the floor. So Taylor Robinson checking back in for the Lady Tigers.
That was a big bucket. To tie that thing back up with 147 in the third, big bucket.
Good give and go, and the shot is blocked from behind by Palmer. Great hustle.
And you can tell she needs some wind. She's getting a little
Well,
tired.
she's letting it all hang out tonight. I mean, she's just leaving it all out on the floor, and you can't ask for more than that if you're a coach. This is Mills trying to go to the baseline. She gets her shot blocked. Taylor Robinson had it. The ball goes out of bounds, and let's see.
They give her a shot on that or no?
It's going to be, I think the ball's going to stay here, and it's going to be the Texas Southern Lady Tigers ball.
See, I thought Robinson was going back up with it and got it knocked out, so I thought that would be a shot. I guess they just called it blocked out of bounds.
Yeah, they called it out of bounds, so TSU will maintain possession. Tie ball game here. But I'll tell you what, the folks that came out to watch this one are getting their money's worth tonight. They're seeing some great basketball. This time they go inside to Taylor Robinson again, and she lets the basketball is knocked away.
And that pass needs to come in a little higher. Let her go get it.
Wide open for the shot was Cheyenne Johnson, and she's off the mark. So here comes Mills. And y'all wouldn't be surprised if Coach Hayes Perry looked to call it tight. There it is. She called it. And the reason why I say that is because she looked at Caitlin Palmer, and it was very obvious that she needed a blow at this point in the game.
Yeah.
And if you're going to win this ball game, she's going to have to take you home.
Yeah, and you're going to have to be very strategic, but you got to give her a couple of minutes. She's got to have a minute or two somewhere in here. And if you use and you're right, if you use those timeouts strategically, you're going to be in better shape to kind of milk her along to give her enough win. But I'll tell you, she's playing her tail off.
She is. 1:06 to go in the third quarter. We are all tied 46-46 here at the Health and PE Arena. We're going to pause for a quick timeout and be right back with all the second half action. 6 to go in the third quarter, and we were all tied up here on the campus of Texas Southern University. The Lady Tigers taking on Weber State in the Women's Basketball Invitational. First round action, and what a game we have here. It's a barn burner, and I tell you what, I think Coach Hayes Perry, you know, she wanted to see how her team would come out and face this challenge, and I know she's got to be happy with what she's seeing so far.
I think you hit it head on. That timeout was for one person to make sure she got a blow, Palmer.
Yeah, and she realized that. You know, she said, I'm going to need her down the stretch. And she's playing so hard on both ends. China Ewing with a shot on the baseline. Taylor Robinson had it, but it was knocked out of her hand, so it's going to be out of bounds, but it will be Texas Southern possession underneath.
I hope the miss for Ewing doesn't take her confidence away, because I thought that drives exactly what she needed to do, and she went in there with confidence. Sometimes when you get a miss, though, you don't want to do it again.
So Palmer's going to put it in play. She goes to Mills. Back to Palmer. Palmer got some space, an open jump shot, and she's just a little bit off. China Ewing fighting inside for the basketball along with Williams, number 24, Dominique Williams. And the ball's going to go over to the Wildcats.
China Ewing took a big tumble right there. She took a real big shot when she hit the floor. I kind of thought that was actually going to be TSU's, not Weber State, but
yeah,
refs didn't see it that way.
Going to be a call against China Ewing, her second foul on the play. Here comes Welsh Coleman, taking the ball into the offensive end, getting it set up, and she goes to Brooks right away. Brooks to Drake, and is stolen by China Ewing. China with a wide open layup after the steal, but great anticipation of the pass.
She's like, you want to hit me, knock me down? Get some of this. Get some of this.
Great job. 48-46, Texas Southern out in front. 7 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Welch Coleman trying to create. Back to Williams. She fires, and it's off. A long rebound, and that is the horn, and that will be the end of the third quarter with the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern leading Weber State 48-46. They'll take a 2-point lead into the final quarter. Give me some of your thoughts on what we just saw here in the third quarter.
Well, I mean, I love the way they came back, right? They were down 4 going in the half. They come back out. Now they're up 2 again. And again, it's just so tenacious the way they played. And again, I think the big key for me here is what? Banks, no Brooks, no points.
Yeah.
She's still stuck at 20. That is fantastic. You can hold that young lady to no points in a quarter. I don't care what's going on. That is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, she had 20 at the half, and right now Caitlin Palmer has 25 points to lead Texas Southern. But you're right, it's that TSU defense. You talked about it before, how they're averaging, giving up only 57.6 points a game.
Yeah.
So they've really turned on the defense here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's impressive. And I don't think Quinn got a bucket either in that half. And those are the two ladies that when they go off at Weber State can be incredibly dangerous. And again, I cannot say enough about Palmer's play. I just think she's someone playing so complete on both sides of the ball. If she was just playing defense as good as she would, we'd be talking about the effort she's given. And then you see what she's doing offensively. And this team is leaning on her a ton. And she's just so calm and fluid with the ball when she's taking her shots. And I think Coach is doing a great job of having timeouts. I think that last timeout was brilliant because it wasn't too far away from the break at the quarter. So she kind of buys herself some extra time. Definitely hit her up with whatever Gatorade she loves.
You know, on the offensive end, Caitlin Palmer and China Ewing, great job. Palmer has 25 right now. China Ewing has 13. But quietly, Catherine Okolagwe, and maybe not so quietly, has come in and started doing a great job on the boards. She now has 7 rebounds. I mean, she's making her presence felt inside.
Yeah, and when she scored, 3? She has three points, I believe.
Yes, 3 points.
3 points as well. And I just like her play inside. I know Coach talked about getting Taylor Robinson the ball down and low. I just think Catherine moves a little bit better down there and seems to clear out a little bit better space. So maybe instead of going after Robinson, they try to get her the ball more, get her, see if she can create more in the post. I do think it's going to come down to a couple of key plays where whether it's Robinson or Catherine, one of them is going to have to make a couple big plays down low.
And that's been the key all season long. You know, you never know from ball game to ball game whether it's going to be Taylor Robinson, whether it's going to be Nikki Smith, whether it's going to be McElrath You don't know who's going to step up inside, but somebody always seems to step up there. And tonight, right now, it's Catherine Obolagwe doing a great job hitting the backboards with those 7 rebounds.
Yeah, and 4 of those are defensive, 3 offensive, so pretty balanced the way she's doing it. So that means you're active on both sides of the court, right? And that's what I like to see. When you see one that's just a great offensive rebounder or one that's just defensive, I'm like, what are you doing on the other side of the ball? What are you doing on the other side of the court, right?
So we come out to start the 4th quarter. Texas Southern will have the basketball. And I'm looking at the lineups on the floor, and Quinn is still not in the lineup yet for Weber State.
Yeah, she's not.
But she's moved to the front of the bench, which means she's anxious. So China Ewing with the basketball. Great job by China Ewing. What a drive. And she lays it up and in with the left hand. Good shot. Well, I tell you what, she's playing one wheel of a ball game here tonight.
Well, and I think, I was saying earlier she wouldn't pull the trigger. Well, now she's going down low and she's attacking the rim.
Williams with the jump shot. Dominic Williams connecting, the 6-foot sophomore from Idaho, with a nice shot. 50-48 TSU back in front by 2.
Was a quick answer, too.
It was, and we were talking a minute ago about Quinn. She's now at the scorer's table. China Ewing for 3, and it's a long rebound out to Welch Coleman and a deep pass, and she stepped on the baseline. So Gray did a good job of tracking that ball down, but she had nowhere to go with it.
There comes Quinn back in, and what China, she took that 3, she missed it, but that was a good shot. She was wide open,
had to take it, yes.
And she takes the shot. Now Quinn comes back in, it'll be interesting to see how she is with the ball.
Well, and it is interesting because they're giving Laren Brooks a break too. They want to have her fresh here in this 4th quarter. So Quinn comes in and Brooks goes out. So that means Quinn will have to take on that shooting role.
Yep.
And the ball's taken away by Drake.
Good defense.
Takes it away from Palmer. 2-on-1 fast break. Make it 3-on-1. And Gray misses the follow-up. And Mills comes away with the offensive board. It was a 3-on-1 break, and the Wildcats get nothing. And right away, Coach looks on the bench, and she said, Brooks, come back here. Come up here. Come close to me.
That's right.
All it took was 1 miss, and she said,
sure
you're not going to sit too long. So this time, Brieja hands it off to Caitlin Palmer. She creates that space and shoots, and she does not hit. And Williams now is starting to get on the boards for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Robinson's got to do a better job of blocking out to get that rebound on that one.
Brianna Gray goes baseline, and she's going to be called for walking with the basketball. The 5'10 senior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And just like that, Brooks comes right back in the ball game for Gray.
See, I was going to say if Brooks is going to stay out, I'd pull Palmer out for a minute, but with her in, nope.
Yeah, no, they got Gray out quickly, and she sent Brooks right back in. But when they missed that layup, I happened to be looking at the bench, and Coach Ord decided right away, no, we're going to go right back, Brooks. You need to get back in there.
That's right.
So here we go, Mills on the offensive end, trying to create for the Lady Tigers. China Ewing is trying to get the screen from Brieja. China Ewing trying to create inside. She's going to be called for walking with the basketball.
She was doing a good job of weaving herself in there, just one too many steps.
Yeah, and that was good defense. Nobody left there. They stayed on their feet, got their hands up, made it very difficult for her inside. So Giamani Welch Coleman walking it up. 7:38 to go, 50-48. Texas Southern up by 2, and the pass is going to be another turnover for the Wildcats. Here comes Caitlin Palmer. 1 against 3, and she fires. Palmer connects. Boy, that's a one-woman fast break right there. Caitlin Palmer pulled up.
It was a 2.
It was a 2, so she must have been very close to the line. Drake for 3, and she connects. Emily Drake wide open over there on the wing. And it's just like punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch. You know, the Tigers, what a shot, though, by Palmer, you know. You think that's a bad shot. You're going 1 against 3, but for her, that's a good shot. That's her shot. And if you got that 3, if she has a good look at it and she feels like she can make it, I'm sure Coach Hayes Perry is like, you go, girl, shoot that basketball.
I think she's like, this is about as open shot as I get any other time, right? Because she had that defense on their heels running. So when she stopped, there was her separation right there. And again, I've said this the whole game long. She pulls the trigger smoothly. She doesn't have that moment of should I shoot it. When you're a shooter, you shoot. And that's what she did. 27 points. That's special. And you're right. She was probably just centimeters away from making that a three-point shot.
Oh, yeah, no, she was right there, but it was a good job. She pulled up in the spot that she felt comfortable with, and there were 3 defenders back.
Yeah.
But they couldn't believe that she took that shot.
Well, you know what?
They were waiting for her to pull it out.
Well, Weber State's doing a great job. Every time TSU gets a big bucket, they answer right away. They have not let them get some distance at all. So earlier in the, I think it was the third, we had 2 big buckets in a row. After that second one, it was like answered right away. Not several series, not several, just right there. Go right back down the court and tighten the game up. So Weber State is not scared. They do not get rattled. But again, can't say enough about the way Palmer's playing, and really China Ewing as well. She just keeps coming at him, and finding ways to get involved.
You're talking about what is basically 2 20-win teams, because TSU, had they made it to the finals, they would have had their 20th win. They're 19-12. The Weber State Wildcats are 20-12 coming into this. When we look at the top scorers, Caitlin Palmer leads all scorers with 27 points, and second on the TSU Tigers, China Ewing has 15 points and 5 rebounds for China Ewing, but she's done a lot to create some things inside. On the other side, Lauren Brooks has 20 points, but she had 20 at the half.
Still,
so
love it.
She's still sitting on 20. Kaylee Quinn had 6 at the half, and she's still sitting on 6. So that has been excellent defense for the TSU Tigers to keep those 2 young ladies down, because they can fill it up, and they can fill it up in a hurry.
You know, I think can make a couple of buckets here and make a big difference in this game right now is Camille Mills. She's got 3 rebounds, all defensive. She's got 3 assists. Okay, so she's been good with the ball. She's been moving around, but she's had a couple of chances to have a couple of open shots. Hasn't really taken it. I'd like to see her attempt a little more. She's 1 of 5 from the field, so probably her confidence isn't where it needs to be. But again, she's getting some opportunity. She's going to have to go ahead and take a couple of those. And again, pull the trigger. You can't be shy.
She's one of those seniors we were talking about, just happy to get this opportunity. I was talking to her during the pregame warm-ups, and she said, you know, I said, did you leave town? She's from Los Angeles. She goes, no, but I was getting ready to go on spring break. And I'm like, spring break? Yeah, I don't think there was a spring break when I was in college. If there was,
not the way they do it now.
I didn't know about it. I had to work, so it wasn't
Yeah, no, the way they do it now, a whole different story.
I told her I was jealous, but she said, you know, I'd give up spring break anytime to be back here playing a basketball game.
There you go. Because as you know, when it's over, it's over.
So Palmer over to Mills. Mills going to go baseline, and is going to be fouled as she goes inside. So right away, Camille Mills taking a page out of your book, Jorge, trying to create.
Yeah, and I think that's important, because it's going to make that defense have to stretch a little bit, and it's going to get easier shots for Palmer. And one thing we know, Palmer needs some easy shots because she's working so hard.
So Mills' first shot on the way is good. She's a 52% free throw shooter. So she got the first one. That's half the battle right there. So she gets this one. This is all gravy. Number 2 is on the way from Mills, and it is good. So the TSU Lady Tigers go up 54-51 with 6:50 to go in the ball game.
Okay.
You know, if they win this game, they go on the road.
So you're taking me on a trip, is that what you're saying?
Inside, and Williams, it goes in and out for Williams. She could not hang on to it. They will face the winner of tonight's game between Central Arkansas and Southern Illinois Edwardsville. So whoever wins that game will play the winner of this game, except if it's TSU's the winner, they're going to travel.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, and it was almost a turnover. Look at, that's Mills, Camille Mills down on the floor. And
you can't jump all
she
that.
Ties up Quinn on the play. And it's going to be out of bounds. Possession arrow is going to go to the Wildcats, so they're going to maintain possession of the basketball.
Camille Mills has a point. She had the ball. She was coming back before the whistle was blown.
And that's the point she was trying to make to the officials.
And I will say that she was respectfully disagreeing.
This is Williams. She's had a fine second half for the Wildcats. I mean, she's quietly got some of the dirty work done, got some rebounds, and now it's going to be a turnover. The ball's going to go back over to the Lady Tigers. Williams has 4 rebounds here in the second half.
There you go.
But I bet you 3 of those 4 have been on the offensive end, because she's gotten...
That play was the first time I saw Weber State a little rattled. They didn't look in control. Their offense looked confused. that's the first time I've seen them kind of look like they didn't know what was going on that play. And again, part of that reason is they kind of manned up on that one, and they got all on their faces, and they didn't give them an easy in and let anyone get comfortable with the ball at all. So great job by TSU, and I like the way they're coaching. I like she's coaching this game. I'm telling you, Netta Hayes-Perry is doing a great job.
She's doing an excellent job, but I think Beth Ann Ord saw the same thing you saw, and that's why she called timeout to try to get her troops together. So 54-51, Lady Tigers in front. 6:18 to go here in the ball game. Welch Coleman gets it inbounds to Drake. Drake open for the three-point shot, and it's going to be long, but look who has the rebound. Williams. We're just talking about the job she's doing on the offensive glass, and she comes away with another one. Brooks just hadn't been able to pull the trigger here in the second half.
Again,
Welch Coleman to Quinn, and Quinn misses again. And it's going to be China Ewing, and China Ewing has it off the break, and no call.
Wow.
China Ewing, there was some contact inside, but it's going to be a steal, a turnover for TSU, and then there's Brooks with a nice move, and she cans the three-pointer. Good job. She's kept her back, kept her conscious, knew exactly where she was, knew where the defender was, and then got the three-point shot off. We're tied, 54-54, with 5:31 to go in the ball game.
Like I said, when they answer very smoothly, and they come right back and keep this game tight.
But she didn't force that shot. She made a nice move, watched the defender go flying by, and then she put up the three-pointer. So this is China Ewing working off the screen. China's inside again, and she can't get the call for the second consecutive trip down court.
Yeah, they're letting them play rough inside.
Yeah, they are. So Williams thought about it, throws it back out to Welch Coleman. She goes in, and facilitates one to Drake. Emily Drake wide open for three, and Weber State's going to move out in front for the first time in a long time. 57-54 on that three-pointer by Emily Drake. They have some outside shooters. I mean, they have some people on the floor that can fill it up from the outside. So
it was 4:21 in the third quarter is the last time they led.
So Palmer now, she's looking to create something, and her shot's a little short. Breasia with the rebound, and she kicks it back out to Mills. 4:25 to go in the ball game now.
I was looking for her to go right back up with it.
Mills spinning inside, throws it up, and it spins off. Catherine Okalagwe on the glass, and it's taken away by Welch Coleman. So some good work inside by the Lady Tigers, and they didn't see Welch Coleman getting inside, and now with a great dish to Williams, and just like that, the Wildcats go up by 5, 59-54, Weber State with 3:55 left in the ball game. So TSU had a great opportunity last time down, just could not get the shot to go. Palmer's going to fire again, and that one's going to be off the mark, and Caitlin has kind of cooled off just a little bit, and here comes Welch Coleman, but that's going to be a foul on Palmer.
Yeah, and that was a tired foul.
Yeah.
That was a frustrating and I'm tired foul, and that's tough for Palmer. She's been playing her tail off, like I said. Looks like, well, she's not going to get a break.
Yeah.
She thought she made.
That's foul number 3, and in a way it was a good foul because the way you slow down that offense, they've come up with 5 unanswered points, so you want to do whatever you can, to keep them from making it 7 unanswered points. As the Wildcats will put it in play, Drake goes to Williams. Williams working against Robinson. She has it on the blocks, nowhere to go with it. Back out to Drake, and then Brooks. Brooks takes it down the lane, tries to go across court, and Palmer is there for the steal, but she couldn't hang on to it. Palmer made a great move, but she could not hang on to the basketball.
Yeah, and they called the foul on China.
China Ewing is hit with her 3rd personal foul. So the basketball is going to stay on this end, and then, you want to try to force the turnover here. If nothing else, make sure you hold them to 1 shot on the offensive end if they don't make it.
That's right. It's a tough time right now, 3:20 in the game.
So Welch Coleman goes over to Emily Drake. Drake does a good job penetrating. Williams wide open for the jumper, and Williams has done the job here in the second half. Good shot by Williams.
She has 8 points.
Yes.
Quiet 8 points, huh?
Man, I mean, she's, but she's got it in that area, and now that's going to be called. Offensive foul is called against Caitlin Palmer. They got her for extending that elbow, so the ball's going to go back over to Weber State with 3 minutes to go. The Wildcats are up 61-54. Texas Southern, Coach Hayes Perry's going to take a timeout, so we're going to pause for a break here. We're going to come back with a whole lot more with the score 61-54. Weber State leading the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern with 3 minutes to go in the ballgame. Welcome back, everyone. 3 minutes to go in the ball game, and Weber State leads the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern 61-54. So Weber State's going to have the basketball and the lead. So Welch Coleman comes down on the tag. McKenna Poinge comes into the ball game, and I'm sure that's to get some fresh legs in there on defense and try to create a steal if possible. Boy, Coleman, that was a great job by Welch Coleman inside, and there's Williams open again. And that time it didn't go, but look inside. Quinn finds the rebound. She finds the offensive board inside and sticks it back up and in.
That one hurt.
63-54 now. Weber State in control with 2:30 to go in the ball game. So the Tigers are going to have to find somebody to give them that offense, whether it's going to be China Ewing or Caitlin Palmer, but somebody's going to have to start knocking down some shots.
Well, I think whoever's got the ball and they got an open shot, they have to take it. You can't sit there and wait.
So Mills with the basketball now. She's going to fire it up, and it's air ball by Camille Mills. And here comes Welch Coleman, working 1 against 3. Tries to throw it back. She does to Brooks. And then Quinn's going to back it up now because they have the lead, so they're going to take some of the air out of the basketball. Brooks, the veteran, the newcomer of the year in the Big Sky. She's controlling the basketball, and it's taken away by Mills. What a great job by Camille Mills. Now we need a quick basket here. Caitlin Palmer inside, trying to create something, and she just can't get it to go. Hard off the rim. Boy, they needed that shot. 1 minute and 33 seconds to go. 63-54. Weber State out in front. But a great defensive effort by Mills last time down. And this time it's going to be an offensive foul called against Brooks. And once again, a great defensive effort by Camille Mills, getting great position on defense. You know, you move your feet, you get in position like that and taking the charge.
And you can see that she was looking right at us where we sit courtside, and you could see she was just, I mean, she was like, you're not going anywhere here. And she sure did. You're right. Her feet moving with the ball was fantastic, and she got the turnover there.
So the Lady Tigers are going to be looking for some quick points here on the offensive end. 1:19 to go in the ball game. They trail 63-54. Palmer over to Ewing. Ewing trying to create in the lane. And she has a call inside away from the ball. And it looks like it's going to be against Welch Coleman. Giamani. Welch Coleman inside with the foul away from the ball.
Easy for you to say.
So the Lady Tigers will put it in play here. And this time it's against Williams. So back-to-back fouls inside away from the ball, that time against Williams.
Yeah, she was holding.
That's her second foul. So Mills trying to get it in, goes over to Palmer.
Great catch.
It really was a great catch. That was almost a turnover, and that's Welch Coleman. I think she was a little late getting there, so it's going to be a blocking call on Welch Coleman.
She hit the ground extremely hard.
Giamani goes down, and she just got the wind knocked out of her a little bit.
But her head hit pretty good too.
But she was trying to get over there in position. She was just a little late getting there, could not establish that position. So she's going to take a break. Gray's going to come back on the floor, Brianna Gray. So we have 1:06 to go, a 9-point lead for Weber State, 63-54. to 54 with Caitlin Palmer at the free throw line.
Yeah, she's trying to plead her case to her team over there that she had charging her like, just sit down.
Palmer makes the first one.
I think she hit her head pretty good, though.
So that makes it an 8-point lead with 1:06 to go. It's still a doable situation for the Lady Tigers. Palmer has a second one on the way, and she makes them both. 63-56. Weber State out in front. 1:06 to go. Ball goes into Drake. She comes over to Brooks, who finds Quinn wide open on the other end, so they break the press. And Brooks taking her time again. They're going to take some of the sails out of the basketball here. Some of the air out. China working one-on-one. 45 seconds to go in the game, and we do have a foul. It's going to be Caitlin Palmer. Caitlin Palmer, that's her 5th personal foul, so she's done. But what a ball game for Caitlin Palmer. 29 points for Palmer, just and 4 rebounds, and then tremendous job on the defensive end.
Yeah, just all over the court. She played absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, she played her heart out tonight. She really did. So the ball comes back into Brooks. Mills is putting on the D, and then Brooks using that left hand to push off, and they take it away again. Mills forcing the turnover. China Ewing, just shoot it, and she does. And now he's going to call offensive foul. I was hoping she would stop and put up the 3 ball. That even in that situation, that might have been a better shot.
Well, you need threes.
Yeah.
Bottom line,
and instead, you get the turnover there with 30 seconds, 32.5 seconds left in the ball game. It's 63-56. Weber State out in front as we have a timeout on the floor. But man, I tell you what, they've been a tremendous job on defense, and they forced some of these turnovers, and they just haven't cashed them in on the offensive end. And that's what really kind of hurt here in the 4th quarter. They've had the opportunity because they've played so hard on the defensive end, and they've taken the ball away. They just haven't turned them into points.
Yeah, no, it's been an impressive showing, I think, all around. And again, you're right, the sad part is they've had some stops when you say, hey, look, they need to stop here, but they can't convert it, or they get the ball from it and then it slips up and goes back to Weber State. But, man, the absolute intensity they keep playing with and the hustle is fantastic. And again, Camille Mills, I think, has been tenacious, and China Ewing has played fantastic too. Even down to this end here, you know, they are not saying we're going to give up anything.
No, they're looking for the quick turnover here, and then I think you're right, Jorge. You have definitely hit the point in this ball game where you have to start putting up some threes and letting it rain 3 balls here, and you're going to see Weber State, you know, going to the old 4 corners some, backing it up, spreading it out. Trying to take the air out of the basketball, and that was almost picked off by Puinge. McKenna was right there. I don't know if she knew the basketball was there. We're down to 12 seconds. Final 10 seconds of the ball game. Brooks is going to just dribble it out, trying to create. Now she takes the shot for 3, and Brooks connects. Just like that. Laren Brooks, 26 points for Laren Brooks. 2-1, and that is the ball game. Your final score from the Health and PE Arena. Weber State comes to Houston, and they knocked off the Lady Tigers from Texas Southern. 66-56 is your final score in the Women's Basketball Invitational. This was first round action. Jorge, I tell you what, though, the Lady Tigers came out and they played their hearts out, and it wasn't until the last couple of minutes that this ball game turned late in the ball game.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, you know, it kind of is upsetting. It's a 10-point game, but it didn't.
Oh, it was a lot closer than that. Yeah.
No, and they just played their hearts out. I thought it was a well-played game on both teams. And again, you know, when you're talking about their best player, Brooks at her only smile was with what, 3 seconds left in the game. Yeah. When she took that last shot, that was the first time you could see her actually a little bit relieved. TSU played them so hard. They were never relaxed in that game. They were always battling. I thought that was just an impressive, gutsy performance by the Lady Tigers.
You know, we run down the numbers. Caitlin Palmer, 29 points, and that doesn't speak nearly the whole story because she was outstanding on defense. China Ewing had 15. Camille Mills, 4 points, but she was also outstanding on defense, really doing a great job. Catherine Okolagwe coming in off the bench.
Yeah, she came off the bench and did a great job. And I thought there were multiple players at different times that just stepped up and did a great. Camille Mills, I was really impressed with. China Ewing, I thought was great. And I don't want to kill Catherine's last name, so I'll kind of
Okolagwe. Catherine Okolagwe.
I thought, while number-wise, you weren't necessarily going to go wow, but there was just a lot of things she was doing battling inside there.
And you look at the numbers on the other side for Weber State. Laren Brooks, 26 points, only 6 of those in the second half, and 3 came, practically on the buzzer when the game was already over. She threw up a shot, got 3. Emily Drake ended up with 10, but they did an outstanding job on her. She got a bucket inside, a trash bucket inside an offensive rebound that she picked up late in the game. So they did a great job on her. I'm sorry, Emily Drake had the 3. It was Kaylee Quinn I'm thinking about, who got the shot inside. She only had 8 points for the game. She's an outstanding shooter. So, it's almost hard to see where this game got away. It was just such a quick turning point, a couple of turnovers. And we have to say it, but fatigue played a big factor in this ball game because Caitlin Palmer let it all hang out. I mean, she did everything she could possibly do to help her team come up with a win tonight. But the final score here, 66-56. The Lady Tigers from Texas Southern losing to Weber State in the Women's Basketball Invitational. Right now, we're going to go down to the sideline where Sierra Henry is standing by with Coach Janetta Hayes-Perry to talk about the defeat.
Coach, congratulations on the season. Although it ended how we all wouldn't like for it to end, talk to me about what you think went left. We went tit for tat the whole game, and then the end it just kind of got away.
I just thought down the stretch, again, we're changing lineup. We're trying to run stuff that we're not used to. They changed our defense a little bit here and there. And so the play sets went as clean as they usually did. I thought Coach did a great job face guarding Katie Palmer and making our other kids become scorers. We didn't handle that as well. Maybe we made some adjustments, but then we gave up layups on the other end. So that definitely made the difference in the game down the stretch.
Palmer did a great job tonight. She laid it all out on the floor. Talk to me about her and some other girls that you're proud of for stepping up tonight.
I'm really proud of Katie Palmer. The last few days she's been great since we had them come back to school to play. And I'm just excited for her to have another opportunity to play on the next level, hopefully. I thought that, China isn't where we want her to be, but she's definitely getting back to where we need her to be. Catherine came in and gave us a good spurt, her and Breasia. But again, these kids are being hurt. So to see them all come in and play the way they did tonight, I'm happy for that. I'm not happy about losing at all, especially a winnable game that was in our hands.
All right, so what are you looking forward to for the next season with your girls that are coming back and leaving off the way it did?
We're going to be hungry. I think record-wise, this may have been the worst season we had since I've been here in 6 seasons. We have a few kids sitting out with injuries, Shania Mitchell, Erin Tarver. They'll definitely help change the dynamic of a few things. And also we have the transfer from UTEP, Jakira Ford. So we have some recruits coming in as well. So we just want to keep building on what we had, continue to grow, and understand that we got to stay hungry. I thought this team was too mellow all year. They wasn't hungry enough consistently, and that's something that's really important to us.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, Sierra and Coach, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Well, of course, final score from the H&PE Arena, Weber State 66, Texas Southern 56. And we want to thank all of you for watching the Texas Southern Sports Network tonight. For Jorge Vargas, Sierra Henry, I'm Butch Alcindor, and our entire crew, be safe and have a great night.